Hello everyone and welcome to DBF1 Season 7. We're here for the fourth week of the season. It's round 7 and 8. We're here for the Canadian Grand Prix. It is throwback week if you can't tell by Tony's livery. We're currently watching him complete his lap. We've just got over 13 minutes to go in the session. We'll run through everyone's liveries as quick as we can, and we'll have the formation lap on for race 1 so you can get a good view of everyone's. We've got some good ones that have been announced. Some drivers have kept it close to their chest on what they're going to be running, so we'll have to see on the grid what they are. It's currently Jessica Ball leading the way on provisional pole, 1:10.1 for her so far. We will get the stream shared and then we'll run through your championship order. So Jenga Boy took the lead of the Drivers' Championship last week. It's been CJH throughout the first 2 weeks, but Jenga Boy took the lead of the championship for the first time this season on 92 points. Jess Ball won her second race of the season, third all time, to come in second in the Drivers' Championship in 88 points. CGH in third, the defending champion on 80. Jordan in fourth, a bit further back on 56. We'll stick with Casper. I think Lewis Craig's actually on a lap, so we'll stick with Lewis at the moment. Chris, in fourth place on 56 points, followed by Chris Johnson and Scottish Goat, both on 55. Acorn on 54 and 7th. Lewis Craig, bit of a shock, down in 8th place on 48 points. Tony in 9th on 41, and that leaves Daniel Piwilna in the top 10 on 39. He's the last of the top 10 at the moment. Lewis Craig now just coming round through the final part of his lap. What will it be on the run up to the line? It's third fastest, enough for the second row of the grid. Who is further along? Is it Jenga Boy or is it Casper? Looks like it's Casper. Went purple through Sector 1 there in his 2007 Kimi Räikkönen Championship. Ferrari were on board with the 5-time DBF1 race winner. Looked very clean through that part of the truck, coming up to the hairpin now. Almost 300 kilometers an hour. Brake all the way down into second gear. Get the car rotated back down there. You'll get all the battery and all the DRS. Doesn't look like he's using any of his deployment at the moment in his Ferrari retro car. Even got the yellow bit at the front. Beautiful job on the livery from Casper. No ERS being used here, so if he sets a competitive lap time, we will be slightly concerned on what his pace will be. Only 10th quickest. Jenga Boy going to be next across the line. And he goes provisional pole, and we're into the minute 9s. And 9.8 in that wonderful Toyota that he's provided for us. I think Jess is on a lap in her 2008 Sebastian Vettel winning Toro Rosso. If you've seen the announcement video she did for that, it was absolutely exceptional. Probably the best announcement we had on the grid. Jess Ball won last time out in Australia and not on the stream, unfortunately. 2 wins this season though, and now only 4 points adrift of winning the Drivers' Championship. She is improving, not enough to take provisional pole back away from the championship leader Jenga Boy, but now are these two starting to form a championship battle with each other and leaving CGH in the dust. CGH is all the way down in 15th, not set a lap time though. Now into the final couple of corners, down into 4th gear. She's got a lovely toe. I think that's Jake just ahead of her in the Lotus, and it's only P2, not enough of an improvement to challenge. It wasn't Jake, unfortunately, sorry. Looks like Daniel Piwilna in 6th on a lap. We'll see what car is he running. I think that's a Force India. It is a Force India. Wonderful car there from Daniel Piwilna, and he's currently 2.5 tenths of improvement. Would put him on to the second row of the grid. Daniel down in 10th place. Him and Lewis have been unfortunate in races this season. Alistair Bain has snuck it up into 3rd place, a 10-3 10th ahead of Lewis Craig. What can Daniel do? Not finding enough time in his Force India S car. Now he goes down into second gear for the hairpin, and he'll get his car all the way up, you'd imagine, to 300 kilometers an hour pretty easily, and he does. How much higher will that top line speed go? How much downforce is he running? 335 at bottomed out at there, into 4th gear now. Avoids the wall of champions. The runner-up in Season 5, Daniel Piwilna, what will it be? It's 5th fastest for Daniel so far. Acorn has just set a lap time to put him 6th place. Is anyone else improving? Casper with a minute 9.5, 1 minute 9.5, 3 tenths ahead, almost 4 of Jenga by laying down the marker early is Casper. Jake has invalidated his lap. Is Jordan on a lap in his Jordan from 2004? And Jordan's on the intermediates. I don't know why. Baza improving as well. He's in a McLaren from 2008, I believe it's 2008, maybe 2007. On the medium compound, he's finding a fair bit of time through the first sector. That McLaren, though, absolutely wonderful. I think Gamer James, who's in 10th place, also in the McLaren. Baza, 4 seconds of improvement here. It's a 22.2. So you'd imagine Baza through the final sector will set a lap time that will put him around about Jake and Jordan. On the mediums, getting ever closer to that 100th Grand Prix. It's 92 and then 93 tonight. Once he crosses the line on Austria, it will be 100 Grand Prix. But it's all about the 111.8. So big improvement from Baza, not much in position. But now it is the defending champion who's invalidated his lap time. And he's got a lovely livery there, I have to say as well. Hijab has made it. Darky coming out, I believe Darky is in the Arrows, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it's in Arrows. I might be wrong. Someone can correct me if I am mistaken. Alistair Bain has just popped himself up into 2nd place, a 9.7 from Alistair. What is Alistair using? That looks like a Brawn, if I'm not... Yeah, it looks like a Brawn from Alistair. Lewis Craig now finding time in his BMW Sauber round the final couple of corners. He goes now. What can car 37 do? He used a lot of the exit curb and got so close to the wall of champions. Only 5th fastest for Lewis. Can't get into the 9s at the moment in that beautiful BMW Sauber. And then Jessica Ball, Jess Games 95. She is out on track and looking to set an improvement in time as well. And I think Chris Johnson is running an older car as well. Chris is going to get a bit upset with me if I don't remember what car he's running. CGH has gone for the 2014 McLaren. A bit basic, but he's made it, so fair play to him. I think Jess is on a lap. We'll find Jess Ball. She is purple through sector 2, not using any battery at the moment through the hairpin to avoid the wheel spin, and she'll get the overtake done. DRS enabled. No DRS back in 2008, but Sebastian Vettel didn't have a problem winning in Monza. 3.29, so she's a bit quicker than Daniel Puilna down the back straight now. She's got about 10% to play with down this run up to the line. What will it be for Jessica Ball? Only 4th, didn't find any time in the final sector there. Jenga Boy, what's his lap time looking like through the first sector? 1.5 tenths, purple in the Toyota. And Jenga Boy's actually told me what car Darky's running. So the next time we see Darky, we'll get his livery on view. Looks like Darky's just popped himself out into 5th place there, 10-1. The best qualifier in DBF1 history, only on course for 5th at the moment. Can he get close to Casper Klein? We'll have to see. It's a 1 minute 9.5 to beat. Can Jenga Boy beat that? He didn't lost some time through the second sector. He's not improving enough to mount a challenge to Casper. Can he get himself back on the front row? The grid avoids the wall, but managed to get some grass on the tyres that might slow him down. His provisional pole in the end, though. 4 tenths of a second improvement. Wonderful lap from Jenga Boy. All that time was found in that final sector, it looked like. And he's taken provisional pole by under a tenth of a second, and Casper has got a challenge on his hands, and he's just starting his lap time here. It's his 4th go in the Ferrari versus Toyota. Who would have thought that would have been the question coming into tonight's Grand Prix? Not many. Casper obviously in the kick cyber usually, and tonight he is running in the retro week, the Ferrari. Needs 1/10 of an improvement. Shouldn't be too hard to find for Casper, you'd imagine, as he comes up now to the hairpin, only in 7th gear. 2/10 of an improvement. Get down to 2nd gear. Oh, and he's had a bit of oversteer into that corner. The front end just wouldn't stick, and it wouldn't let him rotate the car. Is that going to cost Casper an opportunity at provisional pole? Was that worth 2/10 of a second and stop him from taking the position? He's got no battery really to play with now. He's lost the back end there coming out the final corner as well. If this is a pole lap, it's going to be incredible. It is. Finds 3.5 tenths, and well, surely if that was a bit cleaner towards the end, that would have been in the 1 minute 8s. And I think if it got into the 1 minute 8s, he would have surely been on provisional pole and taken pole. Jake, returning driver. He's in the 2012-2013 Lotus that Kimi Räikkönen was using. Bankrupted the team, might I add you. But Jake returning for one night retro week to help out the grid, and we've got 18 drivers. So Jake doing his bit and coming back to up his race tally by 2. I think that puts him to 40 Grand Prix in DBF1 history. And he's just coming into the pits. Kaya not on a lap. Jordan's still on the intermediates. Maybe Jordan knows something we don't. Lewis Craig now. Don't think he was finding any time through the first sector. But we'll stick with Lewis on his lap for the remainder with just under 2 minutes. So this is going to be Lewis Craig O2's final go at this to try and get higher than 6th place. Coming up to the hairpin now, brake as late as he possibly can. Gets himself down into 2nd, a lot later than other drivers. Get on the throttle as early as you possibly can. Dunk that ERS deployment down the back straight now, under the Louis Vuitton signs, and he's closing. He's up to 3:32. That's the highest we've seen anyone go, so loads of straight line speed for Lewis at this Grand Prix, and he's hit the wall of champions, and he's out of qualifying. That is it for Lewis Craig. And the driver that's never been the DBF1 champion crashes into the wall of champions, and he'll be 6th place at best. Casper Klein is out of qualifying as well. I think Hijab is on a lap here, but he's invalidated. That's a wonderful livery from Hijab as well, but I don't think he actually made his livery. I think he didn't have time to make an F1 style livery, and he's coming into the pits, so that's Hijab out of quali. Is Baza just beginning his lap? I think he's going to be the first of everyone, or it might be Acorn. Yeah, it's going to be Acorn. Deck got his first podium of the season in Australia. 3rd place, Jess Games. She put her victory to him for holding up Jenga Boy through the 2nd stint of the race. And then Red Bull doing a fantastic job. They're in the lead of the constructors as well. And even though they're driving in different cars tonight, their points will go towards Red Bull and the constructors. 3/10 of improvement. So, Deck, Acorn 95 looking to try and get onto the 4th row of the grid here. And if he can get a good final sector, maybe mount a challenge to CJH. Down the back straight now goes Acorn 95. 2 dive bomb wins to his name. Can he make it free tonight here at Canada? We'll just have to wait and see. Car 71 takes the short run up to the line now. Does Deck at 7th fastest. I think it was CJH next. Yeah, Luke's Baza found 3 attempts at CJH next. Only 6th for CJ. Jess goes 5th. Alistair Bain coming down the back straight now. I think there's a car ahead of him. Not sure if it's one of the quicker drivers towards the front. Not quite. Chris picked up a few places. Alistair Bain goes on to the 2nd row of the grid. That's as fast as he'll go. Jenga Boy only 4th. Didn't find any time. And it is Chris Johnson on a flyer. He's invalidated. So that's that. Qualifying. Alistair Bain was the late riser. Darky came 3rd. But it's Casper Klein on provisional pole. On pole position, sorry. A 1 minute 9-1. Alistair Bain got close within 2/10 of a second in his Brawn. It's only 2nd. Front row of the grid for Alistair though. Darky, the notorious qualifier, in 3rd place. Jenga Boy could only manage 4th. And then the winner last time at Jess Games down in 5th place. believe it was Lewis Craig in 6th. No, CGH in 6th place there. Lewis Craig crashed out the wall of champions. In 7th, Acorn in 8th, Daniel P. Whelan at 9th, Tony rounds out your top 10. Scottish Goat in 11th, Hijab in 12th, Jake 13th with Chris Johnson 14th, James in 15th, Baza 16th, it's Kaya in 17th, and Jordan in 18th. On the mediums, on the intermediates, is this a bit of Jordan going for the good position in the second race? Obviously, the reverse grid, the drivers don't know what track it is yet, and it will be Baku coming up later on in the night. So race 2 will be reverse top 14 Baku. And that is only if you finish the race. So if you come 14th but DNF, you will not be part of the reverse grid. And well, it's looking all sunny in Montreal. We're going to have the formation lap on. This will be only the second ever time that DBF1's used the formation lap. And it'll just be to have a look at all the liveries. Give everyone an opportunity to have some screen time as well. As my good friend of the league and former driver Aidan Griffiths used to say, sometimes your favourite driver only comes up on the grid graphic at the beginning of the race. So I will run through everyone and make sure they get some livery time before the race begins. 25 laps though to come. 35% opportunities for safety cars. Probably a one-stop medium to hard, hard to mediums. Opportunity for 2 stops available though on the softs. But I don't think we'll see any softs at the beginning, at least unless people believe there will be some safety cars. Obviously, the opportunity to crash, especially at the Wall of Champions. You've seen Lewis in qualifying do it. And maybe taking the risk of going to the limit. Maybe not doing that in the race, though. And then you'll imagine there'll be plenty of penalties for corner cutting as well. Just have to wait and see what those are. As the drivers sit on their grid slots, just getting ready for the go-ahead from the host Baza. And the drivers have seen that the second race is Azerbaijan in the chat, and they're not very happy to say the least. But it is Chat GPT that selects. I don't get any influence. The list of 14 at the beginning of the season became 13, and well, Azerbaijan was next up. So the drivers will just have to contend with that. No practice. It'll be very difficult. But these are the challenges. That format will not be in Dive Bomb next season. The reverse grids will leave us. It'll be a one and done, just like the risk race of season 5. But we're on the grid now for the formation lap. And then we can get a nice look at Casper's 2007 Ferrari. I'll try get the names of the liveries as best I can, but you'll notice that my F1 knowledge pre-2010 is not very good. But Casper in the 2007 Ferrari looking absolutely lovely. I think Alistair's running a Braun going off the colour scheme. Alistair will be able to remind me later if it's not that. Just going off the colours. Darky in the Cypher, I believe. I said arrows, but I don't actually think it was the arrows. I think Jenga Boy corrected me. Jenga Boy in the Toyota, I know that one off the top of my head. The wonderful Toyota, absolutely beautiful livery. Even the blue sponsorship on the side is fantastic as well. Jess Ball in the 2008 Sebastian Vettel winning Toro Rosso looked absolutely wonderful. If you didn't see our announcement video of her car, make sure to check it out. CGH, the 2014 McLaren Basic, but it's nice. I didn't really like it in 2014, but it's not bad. Lewis Craig in the BMW Sauber, absolutely wonderful for the 2008 Robert Kubica win. It's a nice livery there from Lewis. Deck running a nice livery as well, but you can't see him because of the terrible camera angles. And will it let us see him? Doesn't look like it's going to let us see him. Daniel Pibilna is in the Force India that we seen earlier on in qualifying. Know that one. If you don't know that one, you're in trouble. Tony looks like he's running some form of Toro Rosso as well. Could be wrong, and if I am wrong, I do apologise. Scottish Goat got a nice livery as well. Looks like he's going for the McLaren. The Jab obviously didn't have an F1 style livery. Jake is running the 2010 Lotus. Chris Johnson's got the lovely old style South Africa winning car from back in the day. Gamer James running the McLaren as well from 2007. Baza in the same boat. Looks like Kaya's gone for the Ferrari also, and Jordan has gone for the 2004 Jordan. Casper already lining up on the left hand side of the grid facing right. We've got lights in Canada. Is Alistair Bain and Casper off the line? It's Ferrari versus Blauron. Who gets away best as the race strategies get in the way? Looks like Alistair didn't have the best of starts. Darky's up alongside and he takes P2. So Casper leads the way from Darky. Then Alistair, who got jumped at the start. Jenga Boy in fourth with Jeff Games hanging on to fifth. CJH on her tail with Lewis as well, trying to mount a challenge on CJH. Scottish Goat hanging on to eighth. Then you've got Hijab and Acorn in ninth and 10th. Looks like Chris has dropped all the way to the back of the grid. Hijab and Dar Deck fighting away there for 9th place. 6 championship points available for this position. 25 laps though. It's not over on race 1. Casper leads though from Darky. Alistair Bain didn't get the best of starts, and that allowed Darky to jump him into turn number 1. Darky now needs to focus. Did absolutely exceptional at Canada in season 5 before the final lap where he crashed out after having a 10-second lead, and will hopefully not give that commentator's curse again. Alistair through the final chicane, and that allows him to not have the best of runs. It's actually Darky that's had a good run here on Casper. Is he going to be late into turn 1? No, both on the medium compound. Darky into turn 1, just making Casper think about it. Is anyone else further back going to make a move? No, looks like it's all as you were as we start the second lap. Casper not peeling away at the moment. All drivers, I think, will be on the mediums. We'll quickly check. Alistair on the hards and Baza on the soft. So that might atone for Alistair Bain's poor getaway off the line. But once he gets those tyres up to temp and Darky running off the road like that, this will give Alistair Bain opportunities. And then when we get later on in the stint, Alistair will be hoping for no safety cars. But after the pit stop phase for the mediums, if the safety car comes out, that'd be wonderful for him. That's a strategy you'll have to wait and see occur later on in the night. 6 tenths of a second to drift between the leader and second place now as we run under the free Louis Vuitton signs. He's closing up Darky though, and you don't want to make the overtake here. You wait. DRS enabled. Casper's not had a great run, and there goes Darky now with the DRS to his assistance. Sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and we have a new race leader. Darky overtakes Casper on lap 3, and Darky leads the way. Casper in second now. Can Alistair get in on this action with Jenga Boy, Jess Ball, CJH and Lewis and even Scottish Goat all as you were from the race start? The front of the grid in Dive Bomb has just, over the last few seasons, gotten so fast and quick. It's just so hard to compete now. Waste obviously won the championship in season 5. CGH in season 6 won it with some very quick drivers at the helm. But it just seems to be that the front end of the field is going back to that season 4 or season 3 sort of feel. Maybe not even season 4. Casper sideways into the hairpin there almost. But that season 4 was kind of Damien Green and Alistair. But then back in season 3 you had Hambo as well on top of that. Lewis was winning races, and in season 2 and 1 were just so quick because there was no pace cap. The pace cap's been removed now for 2 seasons. just seems to get quicker and quicker. And talking about quicker and quicker, it's Casper that's quick this time round, and he is going to retake the lead. Is he? Darky goes very late into turn 1, will force Casper to go the long way round. And I tell you what, if Darky can hang on here, this would be fantastic defending. They're still side by side, and Darky holds on. Fantastic driving from Darky there. Lewis, Craig and CGH both got past Jess. The winner of the Australian Grand Prix and the Circuit of the Americas Grand Prix. Australia last week was her first win in dive bomb outside of the United States. And well, those battling, Jess, Lewis and CG, that's dropped them 1.5 behind Jenga Boy. They'll need to try catch up again. Here comes Casper and Alistair now on the back of Darky. They're so close. Casper has to slow down so early that Alistair nearly went into the back of him. Jenga Boy is now well and truly involved in this battle as well. It's a top 4 starting to form as CGH, Scottish Gold, Lewis, Craig and Jess Ball and Hijab starting to form their own way race. Casper now takes the lead into the hairpin. Darky's gone slow, and here comes Alistair now. We're on board with Alistair with the straight line speed of Darky hanging on at the moment. No DRS to help defend, but it's not needed as Darky picks up a 3-second penalty. That would most likely cost him any opportunity at the win now tonight around Canada. And Alistair now for the sake of his Grand Prix as Lewis Craig picks one up as well in the first fifth of the race. That's not what you need, especially when you're trying to get back into title contention. Darky's had a bit of a slide out of turn 7 there, and that might allow Alistair to pounce. Into the hairpin now we will go, and Darky just seems to have the straight line speed edge over Alistair. Casper struggling for straight line speed, I've noticed. Maybe not running the battery. The Christmas tree on the back of his car means he's saving the ERS. And I tell you what, he's backed Darky up. And with the DRS enabled, Darky might be able to retake the lead of the Grand Prix here. Casper going defensive early. All 3 drivers saving their battery deployment now. There goes the ERS Hijab penalty, CGH penalty. The penalties are starting to form, and drivers may start thinking now it's not about track position anymore, it's about not picking up any penalties, and I'll pick up places. Jess Paul already re-promoted to 5th place, as her battle around are just not keeping the discipline. So as we're halfway through lap 6, it's Casper Klein leading the way. It's Darky in second with Alistair Bain in third. That's been your top 3 throughout. Jenga Boy in 4th place, keeping those honest, but he's trying not to fall out of DRS range at the moment. But he might be thinking, as he picks up a penalty, I'll back off a wee bit and allow myself to keep my mediums to extend them to make my tyres better in the long run. There's a safety car. Lewis Craig's in the wall. No front wing there. We're not sure if that was caused by anyone or if Lewis has done that himself. Baza will be in the pits this lap. Baza might have actually pit on the last lap. Yeah, Baza stopped last lap, so this doesn't help him. And in the end, Casper in, Darky in, Alistair in. Lewis Craig has a drive through for spinning into the safety car. So I'm seeing Lewis retiring from this session. But he should go to the end though, Lewis, because he'll get a good reverse qualifying position. And it's not that he, as Casper and Darky are actually teammates. Alistair's going to get Darky here. Yeah, he does. The top 2 were teammates. Daniel Piwilna is leading the race as he has stayed out. He might not be leading the race actually. Casper is going to sneak out just ahead. Yeah, Casper, Daniel stayed out. Alistair jumps Darky. So does Jenga Boy. So does CJH. And then Darky. The top 2 were teammates. Now that's something that spices up the retro week as well. You don't know who your teammate is going to be. Interesting to know there. Frustrating for Darky now that even with the penalty drops behind. Alistair with no penalty, if he can get past Daniel PB on that early doors, might be the best opportunity at Casper having a challenge for the win here. So Lewis Craig in 11th place got to serve a drive-through. I don't believe it can be served under the safety car either. He has to go now until the safety car comes in and serve it within 3 laps of the safety car coming in. So he might get lucky and another safety car come out, and he'll be hoping he doesn't cause it. But he's going to drop to 18th place, and then he's got a long road ahead of him with the penalty to get back up into 14th and get the provisional, get the pole position. He's going now. Will it let him serve? I think it's going to stop him in the pits, surely. Yeah, he's going to stop. I think Lewis doesn't know this. Unless this is the strategy. He's retiring yet. He's going to be no better than 18th, which means he'll start the race 2 in 18th. Yeah, I think Lewis thought that this would serve his drive-through. And it's unfortunate. Disappointing for him. We'll have to wait and see if it was of his own fault. Or if it was caused by another driver. But that is information to come. And the safety car will be coming in this time around. So we're about to get back under racing. Green flag conditions. A lot of drivers have picked up penalties. Lewis is the only retirement from this race so far. We've had 7 laps. Well, 6 laps of racing. 2 under the safety car got us to 8. So when we get going again, it'll be lap 9. Casper knows that when he goes, he cannot stop. And this is it now. Casper can't stop. He's got to keep going. This is the restart. It's been a good one because Daniel's been caught napping. Alistair Bain can't overtake until the start-finish straight, which is very far down the next road. He's already 1.3 ahead now. Is Casper. Alistair Bain going to try and make the move into turn number 1. Down the inside he goes. And he needed to make that move. And he does. And I tell you what, Casper's done mediums there. Casper's going to have to stop again, has he? Yeah, Casper's got to stop again. Alistair's going mediums. Will they go to the end, though? I don't think so. I think this now is a 2-stop Grand Prix for both the top 2. And Daniel P. Wheelnut stayed out. This could be a 1-stop race for Daniel, and everyone else on a 1-stop on the hards will be struggling desperately towards the end. Daniel might have the strategy here. He's going to have a lot of time to make up in the second stint. But this might be doable for a good position come the end of the race. He's got a lot of hard work to come, Daniel. But Jenga Boy now down the inside of the hairpin will pick up the podium place. And that might allow CJ to sneak down the inside as well. Not quite just yet, but you imagine it's only a matter of moments, and it literally is a matter of moments, because CJH is now into 4th, and Darky might be licking his lips as well at an opportunity on the Manxman. Got very close to the rear wing of Daniel there. Casper sits the fastest lap, and actually Hijab is making a move here on Darky, so Darky was looking ahead, and oh, they're onto the grass there, and Darky's in the wall. Front wing damage on Darky's car. And I think Hijab might be in a bit of bother about that one later on in the race. In the night, sorry, Jess Ball up into 6th place. Jake's picked up a pen. Yeah, I think going off the camera angle I seen, it might be wrong, but I think Hijab might be in a bit of trouble in the stewards room later on tonight. 2.2, the gap out front. And Jess is thinking about her podium chances here. She knows that she can get those hards to the end, but it'll be a difficult task. But she's got Scottish Goat underneath a second, which means he gets DRS on her. And if Jessica Ball can get past Daniel, she's 2.3 behind already, 2.5 now of the penalties up ahead. And she needs to get past this time round. DRS to her assistants should allow her to. I believe Jess is running a bit more downforce than everyone else, which might be the reason why she's struggling. Scottish Gold picks up a time penalty. That relieves the pressure off Jess again. And he'll get past Daniel P-Wheelnut into turn one, you'd imagine. He does. Lovely move from Scottish Gold. Very impressive driver throughout the seasons he's been with us. He was at Alpine, got the promotion to the Ferrari, got his dream move. It wasn't really to Haas, but it was more to team with Baza. And bit of a demotion from Ferrari, but it wasn't. Ferrari didn't want him. It was more his dream of driving with Baza as a teammate. Jess now 2.8 behind. She needs to pick up the pace. Now she's got clean air to use that to stretch her legs and pick up some positions on, or even get closer, because that will allow her into the podium places with penalties. And Jess, one of the drivers that don't pick up penalties much, and she's been known as Miss P3 over the years in TGP2 and in Dive Bomb. And at the moment, she's on course for a P4 as CJH closing in on Jenga Boy now, who picks up another 3-second penalty. It's 5 tenths now, the gap between the pair. And CJ can't quite get close to Alistair Bain. Fastest lap of the session. Hijab's picked up a 10-second penalty, then a 3-second penalty. Daniel P-Wheelnut has come into the pits for hards. That's his one stop done. His tyres will be better towards the end. Darky's had to come in for a fresh nose. And I tell you what, to be impressed, Scottish Goat in 6th, we've kind of come to expect that from him. Tony in 7th, obviously won a race in Dive Bomb before, has done fantastic. Jake on his return, I'm not sure how much Jake's actually raced this year since the turn of the season, but this is his first in Dive Bomb in this season, and he's in 8th place. Hijab's retired. Gamer James in 9th, no penalty, so picking up places, Gamer James. Doing well. Acorn as well in 10th. Has had sort of first race syndrome this season, Deck, but he's got wing damage as well. But he's on course for a good starting position in race 2 and could go well. Baza in 11th, Chris 12th. Jordan down in 13th, on for 2nd place in the next race. I think this is tactical from Jordan, and that might need to be investigated. And Dark Shadow in 14th place, on for pole position on the second race. And Kyle's doing a good job. He's got Daniel clutching 6.4, so Daniel could be on for a high starting position as well. And excuse me for yawning. Been a long day at work, been on the go since 6:30. Come home to commentate over this wonderful Grand Prix. 2 DNFs, Hijab and Lewis Craig, both representing Team Europe in the Brazil battle. And make sure you stay tuned to the Dive Bomb X/Twitter page, because we've got an F1 Nations cap coming up soon. Jake, though, he's the closest battle on track at the moment. Behind and ahead, he's 4.5 tenths behind Tony as we get into the chicane in the 2012/13 Lotus. One of the best looking cars I've ever seen. Obviously, Kimi Räikkönen in that couple of seasons winning races was fantastic. Bankrupted the team, but he's got the pace of Kimi Räikkönen, does Jake at the moment, because here he goes. He moves to the right hand side of the circuit, gets ahead of Tony, and that was slam dunk, easy as you like. And now up into 7th place, Jake, laying down the marker. Maybe he should have stayed in the league here. I think there was a bit of outside dramatics that caused Jake to give it call it an end of the day. And then we had a good 2 seasons with him, and we had 2 seasons with him in TGP2 when Dive Bomb had the broadcasting rights for the TGP series, and that was wonderful as well. Jake did good back then too. Couple of podiums in his time. And as we said at the end of last season, the door's always open for him, and it's wonderful to see him racing, and it's wonderful to see him doing so well. Someone else that's doing really well is Casper Klein, 3.1 now ahead of Alistair. Alistair doing his absolute best, but that gap created by Daniel P-Wheelnut on the safety car restart has just killed Alistair's momentum, and he may not have won the race, Alistair, but I think if he was in DRS, he wouldn't have dropped off this much. But he's just, with no DRS and Casper in clean air, just so hard. to mount any sort of challenge. Is anyone else close to making a move? Is Chris close? Not quite on Jordan. He's closing and closing and closing. Kaya's picked up a 3-second pen. I think that's his first one though on lap 50. Oh, and Chris is disconnected. Ah, the internet issue is returning for Chris Johnson, 93. 6 DBF1 podiums in his career. Battling away in the Dive Bomb 2 Championship for the title, and this disconnection might cost him that opportunity with Tony in 8th, picking up another win. He's rejoined fairly quickly, so that's good to see. But yeah, Tony on for another Dive Bomb 2 race win, and it looks like with only 4 races to go, sorry, 2 races to go after tonight, Tony might be wrapping up this championship early. But then what he wants to do really is wrap up this battle with Jake. Jordan now on the back of Baza. Get a wonderful view of Baza's livery there on that onboard shot. And then Jordan now up into 11th place and sailing away. And you can see Deck now maybe round the outside with the wing damage on Gamer James. Gamer James tries to battle it away, but is unable to do so. And Acorn 95 now up into 9th place and picking up 6 championship points. Losing ground on Scottish Goat. Scottish Goat having a wonderful race up in 6th place, and looks like with the penalties we'll keep that. Jess Ball 3.4 adrift of the 2 ahead of her now, but she has got a little less pressure now that they both have 6 seconds worth of pens. So she's on the podium at the moment. And something I'm forgetting, and I don't really want to check the race director because that kind of ruins the spectacle of the Grand Prix as James and Jordan are battling away. Looks like Jordan has won this battle this time out, but James is not going to give it up without a fight. Who's got the better straight line speed? Both drivers have DRS, and it's actually Jordan. Yeah, Jordan gets into the top 10. And I'm sorry for missing that overtake from Tony on Jake, but Jake looks like he's going to try and make the move again. No, unable to do so. Tony now up into 7th place. And Jenga Boy was closing in on Alistair for a number of laps and is right in on Alistair now. Alistair's the hards, mediums maybe slowing down here. I don't know how Alistair gets to the end of the race on that set of mediums. Surely he can't. Surely he has to stop again. And it's a 2-stop race for the top 2. That would promote Jenga Boy and CJH, but then it would promote Jess into the win at the moment. And yeah, it'd be interesting end of the race as Jenga Boy does now take 2nd off Alistair, but with 6 seconds of pens, not really an issue yet for Alistair Bain, but the tyres are starting to fade for Alistair. Car number 11, the season 3 Dive Bomb champion. He's already out of the DRS, he's got no traction, and there's a car off. Darky's retired. Is that a safety car? We're watching Casper. Hopefully the car doesn't vanish before we get there. It has. Looks okay. No safety car. That would have been massive for Casper. The gaps have formed, so we'll quickly check. Yeah, Casper has to stop. So Casper isn't going to win this race unless something extraordinary happens. Casper needs to stop again, and I think Casper, I hope he doesn't think that my message saying a 2-stop in the chat is a 2-stop race mandatory. I just thought it would be a 2-stop with the tyre wear around Canada. He's in, yeah, Casper's in. He had to come in. He has to stop at some point. And yeah, the only mandatory 2-stop we have is Monaco, which isn't on the calendar unless it's chosen at random. And it is a mandatory 2-stop Monaco. On to go the softs for the final 7 laps. So Jenga Boy's promoted to the lead, so Alistair Bain leads the way, and the mediums are just gone on that car. You've seen there at the end. They're just gone. He needs to hang on. The race win for Alistair's in his grasp here. Casper now coming out ahead. Casper could still win this race 100%. I didn't think he'd be this close. He has an opportunity to win this race. Jess can still win this race as well. CJH. Oh, and Alistair's round. Yep, the mediums, they weren't going to go. They're too long. He's shot the tyres and he's round. He's going to have to stop, and he's going to be out if he's not careful. That's wing damage. He's got to be careful here, Alistair. Safety car. Alistair Bain's caused a safety car. And Casper's just boxed. Oh, what does that do? Where is the I'm doing the wrong one. The leader, 15.8 seconds now, Casper. Oh, Jess might be in prime position here. Is she far enough ahead? I don't think she is to stay ahead of Casper. But Jenga Boy and CJH definitely are. Surely. Alistair's caused a safety car. In comes Jenga Boy. CJH just staying out. Oh, that's devastating. I don't think he's going to be fast enough. We'll watch Casper. He's going pretty quick, Casper, here. He's going to get out ahead of Jenga Boy, I believe. Alistair Bain's crash with Scottish Goat, another 10-second penalty. Interesting. Oh, and Jake's key positions just dropped through the drain, drive through. The Jenga Boys come out ahead. None of the leaders would have stayed ahead of Casper. Oh, with a time penalty as well. That looks like Casper is going to win. The safety car has nullified this. Alistair's 10-second penalty might get removed because he won't serve it. Yeah, second safety car of the night. Casper leading the way. Technically now on softs with no pens. CJH in second place with penalties. Well, Jess will climb back up. Baz is in fifth, by the way. Surely Baz has not stopped twice. He hasn't. He's in fifth, though. Good job from Baza. Chris Johnson, by the way, on course for pole. Daniel Pio that close. Jordan as well. Yeah, Chris could be on for potentially a podium or a race when he got a podium in Spain in the first reverse grid race we had, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm actually hearing from the stewards that they're doing a wee investigation actually for Jordan at the moment for the reverse grid for the intermediates. They believe that's not sporting conduct, so that is being reviewed. Jordan said it was for fun in the chat, but they believe that Jordan is trying to intentionally qualify bad in race 1 to have a good starting position in race 2. And I can't remember the last time we had an in-race review by the stewards. The safety car's coming in this lap. CGH is going to have to get those elbows out massively if he's got any opportunity here of hanging on to a decent result. Look at all the penalties. He might be on for a decent result anyway if he doesn't drop behind Jenga Boy. The elbows on the defending champion's car are going to be absolutely massive. And I've just had a quick review of the stats. We've only ever had one in-race review, stewards decision, and that was on Lewis Craig having a pit lane penalty removed. That was the only in-race stewards review we've ever had, and outcome. And we might have news on Jordan come the end of the race. But we'll have to wait and see. Baza and Jess were swapping places, but I believe they've sorted that out now. CGH is going to go a lot later than Casper did originally, maybe because he doesn't have the tyres to get through the final chicane quickly. Alistair's got a penalty under the safety car. Disaster. He might get his 10-second penalty removed, but he won't get that one removed. CGH, the defending champion, is waiting. Look at that for a thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen. We're underway with 4 laps to go around the Jacques Villeneuve circuit. Baza is dropped from 7th place. I think there's been a car drop all the way down. He's tried to defend the position from Casper, CJ, but he's not able to do so. Casper retakes the lead after fulfilling his stops and mandatory tyre. Jenga Boy in 3rd place at the moment, with Jess Ball behind in 4th place. She's the last of the top runners outside Casper not to have a penalty and might be on for a P2 here. If she's got any opportunity of the win, she needs to get past these two ASAP, with Scottish Colt right on her tail like he's been all race, and he's hit her up the back. Jenga Boy's got another penalty, and is that rear wing damage for the Toro Rosso of Jess Games 95. Tony looking to go round the outside of Baza, who's only stopped once. Baza goes deep and hits Scottish Colt. Is that another safety car? Yeah, it is. What happened there? Alistair's all the way down in 15th. Alistair's off again and caused another safety car. Lap 22, you'll get 23, 24 under the safety car. Yeah, we're going to have a 1-lap shootout with no DRS. Baza will come into the pits. This basically ruins Baza's race, unfortunately, that pit stop. He would have been okay with the penalties, but just the restart again, maybe calling it quits and coming into the pit lane. Surely we don't get racing again this next lap. And we're going to do 23 behind a safety car. I think 24 behind a safety car. Alistair Bain's going to retire because he can't finish any higher than 15th, which means he'll start 15th in the race. Jordan's in 9th. His points for 9th will count no matter what. It's more where he's going to start for the next race. So Jess is 100% getting second unless she has... Yeah, the safety car's coming in. We're going to have 2 racing laps, 1 under DRS. Jess Ball, if you're going to win the race here at Canada, you need to get past those 2 absolutely quickly and get on Casper's tail for 1 lap of racing. Casper went early last time. Will he go early again, ladies and gentlemen? We'll stick on board so we can see his steering wheel. And he's away early again this time. He'll drop CJH and Jenga Boy. CJH has to go. Casper's gone. CJH is going to pick up a penalty here. CJH has to go. Yeah, CJH is going to get a penalty. He's not gone. This is going to be a penalty for CJH. You have to remain within 10 car lengths of the car ahead. So CGH is in for a penalty from the stewards later on in the night. Jenga Boy in 3rd place. And that really ruins any chance of Jess winning the race now. She did have an opportunity to pass. But anyway, CGH in trouble now. Maybe wanting clean air and to get ahead, but that's not how it works. Unfortunately, you must remain within 10 car lengths of the car ahead under safety car conditions. And when the leader goes, you must go as well. Jenga Boy now trying to go round the outside of CJH. This would be an absolutely wonderful move if Jess Ball can get in on the action as well. They're battling away. CJ and Jenga Boy side by side coming through the section there. They go off circuit. And is that going to be the opportunity Jess needs? Here comes Jessica Ball. Scottish Colt as well getting in on the action. They're 4x4 going in. They're 2x2, 4 abreast into the hairpin. CJH is so slow through that corner. His tyres are just absolutely knackered. And Jess now 3 attempts back. Jenga Boy side by side with CJH. The Christmas tree on CJH's car. Saving the deployment. Jenga Boy up into second now. Jess has to be careful she doesn't pick up damage or a penalty. She needs to hang on to position here now. Scottish Goat is trying to make a move on her as well. Deck is up into 8th, 7th now. Baza and Jake are dropping. It is the final lap of the Grand Prix here. Jessica Ball in 4th place on the road. It's going to be second come the end. Someone's clattered the wall there, you heard on the audio there. Jenga Boy got ahead to CJH and has not looked back once. Can she get CJH on the road here? Indeed she can. And that is what the discipline does with the no penalties. And she got ahead on the road anyway. CJH might not be in the defending as hard if he didn't have the penalties though. And here comes Scottish Go. Can he get past? But it's all about this man, Casper Klein. He did a 2-stop naturally. He's slowing down. Casper cannot let anyone win. Please don't let anyone win, Casper. Just cross the line here, please. In 1st place. If you let someone else win, you definitely won't get a full-time seat. Casper wins in Canada. Jenga Boy's going to cross the road in 2nd place, but it will be Jessica Ball that takes that mantle off him. CJH in 2nd place. Sorry, there's been a massive crash at the final corner. Someone's not crossed the line. It's Tony. Oh, this is a disaster. I'm not even going to focus on it. We'll go through the order in a minute. Yeah, not happy with the end of that race, unfortunately. Casper wins it. He deserved it as well. 2-stop naturally. The safety cars may have helped him out, take the pressure off a wee bit. He might have won anyway. And yeah, you can probably tell by my reaction, I'm pretty disappointed about how the race ended thereafter. It was so good for majority of the race. So Casper wins, Jess in 2nd place, she'll be up with that. Acorn ended up on the podium with Jordan in 4th place. Gamer James in 5th, good result for him. Daniel P. in at 6th, Jenga Boy 7th, CJH 8th, Scottish Go in 9th, Chris Johnson 10th, Baza 11th, Dark Shadow in 12th, and 13th place for Jake, 14th for Tony, and then it was the DNFers from that pair, Alistair Bain, Darky, Hijab, and Lewis Craig. I'm trying to find out. Yes, the stewards have disqualified Jordan from the reverse grid qualifying due to using the intermediates. And Tony didn't actually cross the line. He DNF'd yet, so that is only the top 12 reverse grid. So Jordan will start 14th and Tony will start 13th. Tony doesn't get the reverse grid, but because he was 14th on the road, he'll pick up a place because Jordan will start 14th, as that's how many people got to the end. Stewards decided it was unsportsmanlike conduct from Jordan in qualifying using the inters. They believed, obviously ended up coming 4th in the end, but I think that was more to drama. I think he was 9th, sort of in the area of 11th to 9th there. but ended up getting fourth and had 12 points to his name, so not terrible for Jordan, I suppose. And he'll start ahead of the likes of Alistair, Darky, Tony, and Casper. Casper will just be ahead of him, so will Jess. Yeah, so we'll have a couple of minutes break. It's Baku up next. I'll try and get rejuvenated and pick up a bit of excitement for the second race after the end of Canada. And we'll see you all in a few more. So we're back live for the second race of the night here in Azerbaijan, Baku, coming your way 13 laps. And probably soft to mediums. Mediums to soft, you would imagine they should go 4 or 5 laps. The soft compound tyre. And then the drivers will be reverse grid, the top 12, so Jake will be on pole. Jordan was disqualified from qualifying for unsportsmanlike conduct, and Tony didn't actually cross the line. There's been a few murmurs in the chat about CJH's finish. I may not be happy with it myself, but technically, as long as he's not endangered or driven erratically, it's not a penalty, it's not illegal, but that's something that is going to be added to the rule book for next week. So as long as he's not put anyone else in danger or caused any damage behind, he's going to be okay. And we'll wait and see. So Casper won the race. And we're about to get racing again. We have got the go-ahead from Baza for Reading up. So 13 laps coming your way of the street circuit of Baku. Excited to see what this holds. Jake on pole. I think Kaya's in second. So Chris Johnson's up there as well. I think maybe third. So it's going to be an interesting race. We've got 3, 4, 5 red lights for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. It's lights out and away we go. It's Jake from Kaya. Baz is there as well. We'll see what they can do into turn one. Kaya goes very deep and forces Jake off, and that puts him in the wall, and that sails Baza surely into the lead of the Grand Prix with Chris Johnson down the inside as well. I don't think Jake got any damage. There's carbon fibre flying all over the place though in the background. I don't think Jake has got damage on his car, but he might have lost a bit of focus, and Scottish Goat happened to 4th place off the start there. And he's hit Jake, and oh, that's Chris Johnson's got straight on in the wall. I don't know if he got hit, but no safety cars. Kaya's got back ahead. I think they're lagging. They're inside each other at the moment, Baza and Kaya. Kaya's gone deep, and that allows Baza to take the lead. Scottish Goat up in 3rd place, so the two Hasses on for a good result here. They're 1 and 2 at the moment once Scottish Goat makes this move on Kaya. Bit of contact, and that's Kaya in the wall, and everyone seems to be bouncing off that wall at the moment. So we'll let the race settle down and we'll go through some positions once we see that Lewis is in the 18th place. Has Lewis got damage? Yeah, he's got no end plates on either end of his car. Terrible start for Alistair. Jenga Boy was in 6th and he's dropped all the way down. He's got no plates either. I think he was involved in that pile-up with Chris Johnson. He was either hit up the back or just went straight on. So at the moment, Baza leads in his McLaren, obviously driving in the Haas, and Scottish Goat in 2nd place in the Haas also, as my screen is going absolutely crazy. And I'm not sure what is happening. So it's a Haas 1-2, Kaya's in 3rd but with no front wing, and oh, he's in the wall and out. So Daniel Pibiona on the podium. Casper is already up into 4th place. Untouched through all of that. There's drivers coming into the pits. CJH and Jake in the pits must have picked up damage in the end there. Jess has got damage as well. Disappointing. Lewis Craig's in the pits and retiring. Yeah, some people haven't had a great start and aren't too happy. People that aren't liking the reverse grid format are going to continue that opinion. And as frustrating as it is, it was brought in and it's not going to be changed between now and the end of the season. It will be removed for season 8. So I hope drivers are enjoying it while it lasts. But at the moment, it's Baza that leads the way still from the Haas teammate of Scottish Goat, Daniel P. Wheel, at 3.7 adrift. Casper Klein close as well in 4th place. I think Jess is on the back of Gamer James. This is for 5th. I think James might have just recently overtaken Jess though. I think Jess was the next one up from Casper. She's closing back in the one, making a move. Jordan and Alistair are battling away. Have either of them got damage? Jordan doesn't. Alistair has front end plate damage. Jess, yes, you just seen her struggle through 15 and 14 and 15 there. The no end plate is just meaning she can't get the downforce in the car to keep her planted and get past. Scottish Goat now, is that? I thought that was a car in the wall. I think it's Darky's car in the wall. The Haas's aren't close enough to make a move. Casper is close enough to make a move and is onto the podium now. And well, the Haas's going to have to work together to try and beat Casper, and going to be a tough task at hand. There's not really anyone else in the race now that can challenge him, unfortunately. And if they are, yeah, just disappointing. Everyone, Jenga Boy is up there but got no damage. Jess is up there but damage. Daniel Wheelnut can't really mount a challenge with damage. And Scottish Goat and Baz are good drivers, and it would be wonderful if one of them could win. It would be a first win for Scottish Goat, a second win in Dive Bomb in 93 races for Baza. But yeah, this man is just a unit, a machine, and he's already within 2 seconds. And unless he DNFs or picks up penalties, it's going to be a fairly easy second win. And he won his 6th race, and it will be his 7th race now. Daniel Wheelnut doing an okay job though here in 4th as well. And I think everyone behind has damage. Acorn might not. He does. Yeah, everyone's got damage behind except Jordan. I think Jordan in the chat was feeling a little hard done by about his qualifying penalty, but saying he just did it for fun and he wasn't trying to get an advantage, and that may be true. But the stewards don't want to kind of set a precedent that it's okay to start going for the reverse race pole or a better position in the sprint race. And the stewards just nailing down the rules, and it's good to see from that. And here goes Casper now on the back of Scottish Goat, has the DRS enabled but isn't able to close down. Jordan got ahead of Gamer James. James wasn't able to come back at him, and that is Casper now ahead of Baza. So the Haas's have swapped positions. Maybe Baza felt that the best opportunity at a race win here is Scottish Goat. That's no disrespect to Baza, of course, and unfortunately Scottish Goat has improved each season he's been in, and he's been class throughout this season as well, but I don't think he's got the ability to hold on. So, as we're about to begin the 5th lap of the Baku race here in Azerbaijan, within a second of Scottish Goat is Casper Klein, 6 race wins to his name, possibility of it becoming 7, and he's not allowed to let anyone else win. If he's going to race, he's got to do what he can to do the best result, and that car is so annoying. Why have they not removed that? Oh, and that's Baza out! He's in the wall. And he's joined Darky. Oh, I'm gutted for Baza. He was on course for a podium. And Casper leads the race now. Oh, Baza will be gutted. He's had such rotten luck recently. It's been 9ths and 10ths and 11ths for him. And it looked like it was going to be a top 5. It's just gone. I'm gutted for him, the Welshman. Race 93 over. It's been a couple of disappointing races, to say the least. The standards have dropped tonight compared to recently, and some of the standards that hasn't dropped is Casper. He's been excellent. Scottish Goat has had a fantastic night as well. Daniel Wheelnut and Jess Ballong for good results as well. Jess Ball starting to catch Daniel. But yeah, it's been a fairly disappointing night for Dive Bomb. The retro week was meant to be exciting and enjoyment, but it's gone down the toilet post lap 20 of Canada. Tell you what, Scottish Goat is closed within 6 tenths to Casper. Casper maybe saving or had a bit of a moment. I don't know if it's just lab. He seems to be struggling in the traction zones, Casper, at that sort of real final corner before you get to the big kinks. And then the car's having to avoid Darky on the left because he's not gone. I've seen a couple go through, so I think you can ghost through it. And then 1 second of the gap, he'll have DRS, Scottish Gold, but it'll just be to close back up. CGH is past Alistair. Alistair's got no front wing though, so he's definitely going to be in this time round. Jenga Boy is in, got a new front wing on his car. And looks like he's going to make a move on Tony as Jess, Jordan and James all come into the pit lane. Alistair Bain retires from the session. And those drivers have come out behind Jenga Boy. So Jenga Boy did the undercut, and now Tony looking to make a move on Jessica Ball as well if he can. Not quite able to get that done. CGH must have stopped because he's got fresh rubber. Only 5 seconds ahead of Jenga Boy, and he's 16 seconds adrift. Casper now stretching the legs, almost 3 seconds ahead of Scottish Goat. And it looks like this is going to be an Irwin wrapped up for him. Scottish Goat with a second place. We'll be happy with that if he can get the job done. He even got the Lewis Hamilton helmet I've seen there in that McLaren. Wonderful. And here comes Acorn now. Picked up a podium in Canada, surprisingly, towards the end due to some carnage. And here comes Acorn now to try and take the podium away from Daniel Piwilna early on in this race. He'll close, and Daniel's probably going to come into the pits this lap, you'd imagine, with no DRS to defend it with. And yeah, Scottish Goat, Daniel Piwilna in the pit lane now. Jordan on the back of Chris, who'll have DRS on Tony just ahead. Closing, and there we go. He might even get Tony as well. Tony's dropped 2.3 behind Jess, so I think there's been a bit of drama there. Tony and Chris battling away. It looks like Tony is hanging on. He's got damage, Tony, so he has had an incident somewhere in the previous lap, and that's why he's dropped so far back from Jess. And he's got 2 eager drivers wanting to get past and score some good points in this reverse fixtured race. Sort of the only real battle on track at the moment. Scottish got his box and come out 1.2 ahead of CJ, so hopefully he can hang on to that gap and keep on the podium. I think they will get ahead of Acorn once he stops. Casper's the only one really. 22 seconds now between him and Scottish Goat. We'll see if that means Scottish Goat retakes the lead with the undercut. And now this freeway battle going to spice up in the next few seconds. Tony might be getting overtaken by both, and he does. And it looks like it's going to be Jordan that gets ahead of Chris come the end of the pit straight as well. Yeah, it's 2 overtakes for Jordan. Chris doesn't move up a position, but he does overtake someone. Whether or not he'll be happy with that, I'm unsure. And Chris might come back at Jordan here, and he does, and that might have been the better of the two moves, actually coming home in ninth to then take 8th on the next straight. And he does. Good job from Chris Johnson, who went straight on at the beginning of the race and clipped the wall. Sorry, smashed the wall. I'm in 8th place, doing okay at the moment now. Acorns on the back of Daniel P. Wheelnut again, going to have to make that move as he did earlier on in the night. And CJH has dropped a few seconds to Scottish Goat now. Not finding it as easy as he once did. Oh, and Scottish Goat picks up a penalty. Disaster. I thought for sure he was on for at least second, and that might just sump it. There goes Casper in the pit lane. We'll stick with Scottish Goat. Is he going to be able to make this move? Will he get out ahead? And we'll actually go watch Acorn and Daniel. 2 tenths is the gap now. Daniel P. Wheelnut in the First India trying to weave as much as he can, legally allow it. And he's not able to hold off Acorn, the chasing Red Bull driver. And Scottish Goat around about 6 seconds behind Casper. And yeah. They did their best, the Haas boys. I'm getting for Baza. And Scottish Goat's done all he can. And it's now about trying to avoid CGH and Jenga Boy and staying ahead of those two. If he can. Jordan, we got Chris at the end of the last lap as well, I've noticed. And then we'll just quickly check. Yeah, Casper's stopped for 2 sets of tyres. He's not done a 2-stop in this race, which would have been a bit suspicious. Jenga Boy on the back of CJH now, closing in through the castle section. They'll start coming down the hill towards the main straight and the main overtaking opportunity into turn 1. CJH lacking that pace. He's dropped out of the penalty of Scottish Goat here. And Acorn's found some pace in this second half of this first half of the season. Looking for a podium in as many races. And here comes Jenga Boy now. This is for track position. And Jenga Boy now onto the podium. Within the penalty as well of Scottish Goat. CGH clipped the wall there. CGH with a DRS and maybe a bit of batteries, using the battery down to 0%. And then not able to get back past Jenga Boy in the wall this time. Cheery me, no one wants to do good in this race tonight apparently. But it's the only battle on the road that's within a second. So we'll stick with it. And yeah, everyone now out with a second of each other. Here's a bit of a statistic. Baza, 93 races done in his career, only 8 DNFs. Pretty fantastic when you think about that, to have that sort of ability to finish races. Yeah, and he'll be close to 100 when we get to Austria. That is fantastic for him. Acorn starting to claw in on CJH. Jenga Boy within a second as well of Scottish Goat. Not really matter though that one, it's going to be a swap of positions for Jenga Boy and Scottish Goat anyway. Can Deck get past though the chasing CJH? And if he can, will that mean that CJH or Deck can get within the 3-second time penalty that Scottish Goat's got? We'll only have 2 tours of Azerbaijan to go once Casper crosses the line in about 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. There we go, lap 12 begins. 2 to go. Here comes Deck, and sorry, Jenga Boy is actually a lot closer to making the move, and Jenga Boy does make the move, and is up into P2 naturally. What could have been for Jenga Boy, maybe a race win if Casper wasn't here, or if he got away cleanly at the start. If he never had to change his front wing, Jenga Boy, he'd be within 3 seconds. So, Acorn trying to mount a charge on CJH. This looks like he might have an opportunity here. DRS open, CJH looking vulnerable. The defending champion may be on his way out as champion with Jenga Boy's pace at the moment over the last few weeks. Defending well as CJH Deck placing his car there in a position to try and make the overtake, but isn't able to do so. He's a lot closer this time than he has been previously. They're losing time to Scottish Goat with this battling. Deck has damage. I'm not sure if that's just occurred in this recent battle, but this is bringing Daniel and Jess involved into this fight. CJH has gone wide to get a good entry into the castle. Worked well for them there, picked up a few bits of a second worth of temps, and his Deck is closing in at 7 temps now as they start descending the hill. And do you do the overtake now, or do you wait till the last lap? Get the move done now, I'd say. We're on board with Acorn 95. He tasted 3rd place last week, and he's wanting another one this week. Opens the DRS using the overtake to try and get past. CJH is blinking away, and there goes Deck. Is he going to go down the inside? He does, and they touch. And he clips the wall. Deck, he's lost out to... No, Daniel had to go wide to avoid Deck, and it looks like Deck isn't going to make that move now. Don't really think CJ could have done much about that. I think Deck moved late into the corner. And I think this is how this race is going to end, folks. Tony might be able to get past Jake here. No, not able to do so. Well, it's been a pretty easy race for him. The Haasers did their best to hold him up, but they weren't able to do so. Jenga Boy is caught up massively, but I think that was more Casper's just taking a foot off the gas, because 7 seconds is a big gap to close up to. Casper's going to make it 2 from 2 on the night. Relatively easy night for him after the beginning of Canada. Casper wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Jenga Boy comes home second. Scottish Goat will hang on to his podium. CJH will hang on to 4th place. Oh, who's going to cross the line first? It's Acorn, then Daniel, and then Jess. Jordan will come home in 8th. Chris Johnson crosses in 9th. Jake will take 10th place. Tony, then James round out your top 12. And your only finishers from 17 runners. Congratulations to Casper on picking up a second win on the night. That's 7 Dive Bomb Grand Prix race victories for him. And he's well and truly becoming one of the greatest the league's ever had. His statistics from winning races to race starts is absolutely incredible as well. I think this is his 15th race. This is 7th win, just under 50%, about 47%, 48% win rate. It's kind of incredible when you think about it on paper, but when you watch it on track, it's absolutely spectacular. Well, what started as a nice night with the retro cars and some great racing in Canada kind of fell away towards the end of Canada and Baku. But next week we'll be back for another couple of races, and I hope you all enjoy it, and we'll see you all there. And I'll see you next time.